Hello everyone and welcome to Psychology Online. This is IntroPsych and I am Professor Williams. So I wanted to just give you a quick little tour of the Start Here menu. This should be the first place that you've gone and clicked on, and this is sort of where I park a lot of things that you'll probably be referring back to throughout the semester. So while you might not necessarily be here every day, it's definitely going to be a spot that you come back to grab things or to check things. So you're in the right spot. I've kind of put a list of things that you can do to get you started during this first week, and of course I'll go over the first week with you, which is here. I've parked some material in there. A lot of it is a repeat of what's here. But during the first week, really, that's my goal for you guys, is to get acquainted with the class and the materials and everything like that. We don't start any content until week 2. So once you're here, you're going to want to go through this list here and really just look over everything carefully. The first and foremost important thing is to check out the syllabus. So you can go ahead and print that out. It's right here. And I would print it out, even though it's an online class and you have it online. It's really good to have it handy on you as a physical copy so that you can quickly reference and check due dates. I think one of the most common mistakes students make, at least in my online classes, is not paying attention to due dates, or maybe assuming something's due the same time every week. And while that is sometimes true, it's not always true. So you just want to have that handy. You want to look it over and just really read through all the policies, expectations, what your responsibility is, and all of that. And of course, if you have questions about the syllabus, definitely feel free to email me and I'll be happy to answer any of those. You also want to be purchasing your textbooks this week. You have a whole week sort of window to get your books. So I would warn against getting a book too late or ordering online where you might not get it in time. So if you are going to order online from an outside source, you just want to make sure that you know the policy of when you're going to receive your book, because not having your book is not an excuse to not be able to start on the material for the class. That being said, I did post the information about the textbook here. It is in the bookstore and it is an ebook. So when you go to the bookstore, you will not see it on the shelves. You'll see a placeholder for it, and you'll have to ask somebody to get you the access code, which is a little package, and it comes with a code that you can purchase both of the books. The main book is Psychology by Cicerelli and White. And then you're going to have also the 40 Studies That Changed Psychology by Roger Hawk. So both of those are e-texts. I've also put a copy of each of them on reserve at the library. However, they're older edition books that are on reserve, which can get you through in a pinch, but there are some differences, so you don't want to rely on those fully. But in case you have a delay in getting your books this week, that'll at least get you through week 2, where we start on content in this Hawk book, one of the readings, and then we start in on chapter 1 in the main book. So that's all the info that goes with the textbooks, the ISBNs and all of that. And again, you can find those at the campus bookstore. Okay, let's go back up here to the to-do list. So the book comes from Pearson, and Pearson uses a platform called Revel. That is where you'll find your e-text. Everything is read in the e-text through Revel, and it also offers other accessory resources for students, such as practice exams, study guides. You can set up study plans that will help you work through the material each week. All of that is in Revel. So you want to get acquainted with what's there. Once you have your book, you'll have the access code to get in, and then you're also going to need this course invite link, which tells Revel whose class you're in. And I've set up all the chapters that we'll be doing in there. There's assessments, and again, these are just for you to use. They're not going to be graded. They're practice. So I would encourage you to be working through that each week before a test comes up, and be using it sort of as a gauge to tell whether or not you're understanding the material before you start the actual exams, which are here in PlayDoh. So that should all be happening this week. Also this week, you're going to want to, number one, read my bio, which is right here. I've posted it for you. Gives you just an idea of who I am. And I'd love you guys to sort of emulate that and create one for yourselves. This is going to be our icebreaker for the class, and it's also going to be my way of confirming your enrollment in the course. So it's kind of like roll call. This is going to be due by Monday, January 27th, and you're going to post it to the student lounge. So if you go up into the communications tab and you click in there and you scroll down, you're just going to go to student lounge, and you're going to create a new thread that is your name and bio. Okay, so like Summer Williams bio. And you're just going to go ahead and post your bio in there. Short and sweet's fine, but give us an idea of who you are. 3 words that best characterize you. Tell us what you like to do. It's our way of getting to know each other. In online classes, we spend a lot of time talking to one another in discussion, so it's really good to kind of know who you're talking to, since we don't really see each other face to face. So again, you need to do that by Monday, January 27th. Other than that, that's all I really have for you this first week. You're going to want to check out all the resources I posted for you below. And if you want to get ahead, you can do the mandatory IntroPsych assessment. I'm not sure that emails have been sent out about this yet. They go out to every single student taking IntroPsych this semester. And it's a department assessment that we do to kind of just see where you're at before you ever even take psychology. It's mandatory, so every student has to take it, whether or not you are a major. So you will be receiving instructions in your email about that. Please be checking your junk mail. Sometimes it goes to your junk mail, but it will be clear in the subject of the email that it's the psych assessment. If for some reason you don't get it within, say, a week or a week and a half, please let me know and I will check on it for you. I put an assessment due date by January 31st. That is next Friday. However, if there's a delay in getting that email and getting that set up, I will postpone that. But right now we're shooting for the 31st. The idea is for you to take the assessment before you really have any knowledge from the class about psychology in depth. So please check that out. Be looking for that in your email. And again, if you don't get it within the next week, just go ahead and shoot me an email and let me know. So I covered the books here with you, the bio. Let's just look at some other things here. Using the PlayDoh menu, if you're new to Blackboard and new to PlayDoh, there's a podcast here that you can listen to. It just basically walks you through how to navigate PlayDoh, just the basics. Okay. Here's instructions for logging into Revel. So you might want to check that out. Here is a PDF of Chapter 1 of the main textbook. So if you have a delay in getting your book for whatever reason, you can go ahead and get started on the material right away, as I've posted this here. You want to look at this, how to do a discussion board post. Discussion boards will start next week. So go ahead and check out the rubric of what I'm looking for how I will be grading your discussions, and then what they are to include. You'll see in week 1 some more on that, and definitely in week 2 even more details as we start our first one. I've put some information about citing your sources as you're writing. So anytime you're writing in my class on a discussion board, you need to cite where you're taking information from, if it's your textbook or if it's the other book, the Hawk book, the 40 Studies. You always want to cite those so I can see how you're integrating the material that you're reading, okay? I've put some other resources on here for you, some campus resources that might be helpful for you. Academic honesty policy, some stuff on plagiarism, which is really important, especially with online work. So check that out. Some tips and helpful resources on test taking. And if you're coming from high school, this is a great article about just some differences to expect if you're not already familiar with that. So that's pretty much the Start Here menu. You're going to then click into week 1. And again, I've kind of just mimicked what's the Start Here menu has. A little bit more detail on some stuff, syllabus, PlayDoh, textbooks, Revel. And there's some more on the IntroPsych Assessment. Okay, if you haven't gotten the email, you can actually go ahead and email Alex Daniel here. He's the one that puts out the assessment, and he's the one that makes sure all the IntroPsych students get the email. So like I said, in a week, if you haven't gotten that yet, go ahead and feel free to email him directly, and he'll make sure that you get it. Okay, so you can expect that every week I'm going to give you sort of a to-do list like this with any materials that you need for the week will be right under it. So if there's lecture slides, those will be provided. If there's videos for you to watch, those will be provided. The discussion board will be there. That'll all be within the week. Okay, so like I said, week 1 is a kind of a get to know you week and a chance for you to just kind of check out all the resources and make sure you're all set. Week 2 is where we will get into the content of the class, starting with chapter 1. You will not see all of these weeks in your view, in the student view. You will only see each week as it's available, and I'll be making every week available, usually by Sunday evening. I make it available for Monday. So the weeks run Monday through Sunday. So every Sunday evening you can kind of check it, or Monday morning, and all the material will be there for you. So that should get you started. If you go into communications here, again, is all my contact information. It's always best to email me here because I respond to that email quicker than the email if you go through here. You can message me privately, but this one I don't check as much. So just know that. The student lounge is for you and your peers, the students in the class, to use. So if you want to talk to one another, if you want to arrange study groups or ask each other questions, that's a good place to go. If you want to ask me a question that everyone else can see, like something pertaining to the class, you can post it here and I will answer for everyone to see. But if you have a more personal message that you'd like me to have, then I would prefer you send it via email. So that's all the contact info. If you need any help with PlayDoh, click in here. So if you're first time to PlayDoh or you're having trouble with links, software, downloading links, clicking on things and not getting anything, that's all PlayDoh issues. A lot of students have problems with the software not being updated on their computers. So that's the most common thing to check. They can help you with all of that. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I wish you all the best of luck this first week of classes, and I really look forward to getting to know you all some more as the class goes on. Thank you.